Okay. So good evening, students. We welcome you all to the webinar of NSO Level 2 online Olympiad preparation classes with MTG. So I hope you're all excited. Yes. So I can see few hands are raising. Can you please lower down your hands? If you have any queries, we can discuss at the end, or else you can drop your queries in the chat box too, in the chat box. So our team members are there. Okay, so students, today we are here to discuss the effective preparation guidelines for NSO Level 2 exam. So first of all, congratulations for you all for qualifying for Level 2 exam, and you all did a good job and giving your Level 1 exam. So let's discuss what are the guidelines, how you have to prepare for the Level 2 NSO exam, right? Okay, so the key takeaways of today's webinar are the benefits of Olympiad exams. So how you're going to get, benefited by giving this Olympiad exams, and understanding the NSO level 2 exam patterns and marking. So how the exam pattern of NSO level 2 will be, you will be able to understand from this webinar, and how is the marking scheme, right? And we also will be discussing NSO level 2 based questions, class 3 to class 8. So based according to the class levels, you will be discussing few NSO level 2 based questions, so that you will be getting a good idea how the level of questions will be asked in the exam and what kind of a question, so that how you can attempt those questions by managing your time, right? And tips for improving problem solving skills in kids. So how the tips we are going to discuss in today's webinar, it definitely helps you in improving your problem solving skills. And helpful resources for NSO level 2 exam. So we will also be letting you know, we will also discuss what are the helpful resources for attempting your NSO level 2 exam, how these resources would be helpful for you. So these are all the key important points that we are going to discuss in today's webinar. So are you all ready for today's this webinar? Are you all ready to discuss with all these points? Perfect. Okay, so let's start with who we are. So MTG is the official academic partner of Science Olympiad Foundation. So we are India's #1 educational publishers of NEET, JEE, CBSE, CUET, Olympiads, and foundation course books and magazines. So our MTG books are collaborated in around 72 countries, and we have almost told 19 plus crore copies, and 2.10 lakh schools and coaching centers, they follow MTG books and the reference, and 6.75 lakh teachers are following MTG books as reference books. So let's discuss benefits of Olympiad exam, which is the first important key point of today's webinar. So Olympiads are like exciting challenges that helps kids to learn to keep growing and never give up even when things get tough. So definitely whenever you are attempting for this Olympiad exam, you yourself, you prepare how to solve even the tough things. Like what all, if you, in case if you're facing some challenging questions. So this Olympiads definitely help you in facing those challenging questions, and never you have the thought of giving up in case if the questions are very tough also. So this Olympiad definitely helps you in not giving up, and even things also whichever that tough, you'll be able to face that. And coming to the all extra studying and thinking they do for the Olympiads also makes them better at their regular school work. So this Olympiad not only helps in giving your level 1 or level 2 exams, but for sure definitely it helps for your regular school work and encourage them for their curiosity in learning more and more. So if you are getting exposed to many more questions, so you will be getting a chance to face those questions also. So you'll be getting an enthusiastic and curiosity to attempt those questions, and deep learning rather than rote learning approach. So when we compare Olympiads with the school, your exams, definitely Olympiads, there are in-depth of the questions asked, and logically also the questions are asked. So you will be preparing in such a way that you will apply your analytical skills in cracking your Olympiad questions. So definitely this helps you in your regular schoolwork also. Plus award winnings. So you will be getting, if you get very good score in the Olympiads, you will be getting an appreciation, you will be getting some award winnings also, and you'll be getting some certificates that makes kids feel proud and encourages them to always try their best and aim high. So few students may not qualify for level 2, but that really gives an encouragement for the students to score best in the future upcoming level exams. So definitely these Olympiad exams definitely give the students to encourage and motivate their learning. Okay, let's discuss about level 2 syllabus and exam center. So discussing about level 2 syllabus is same as level 1 exam. Whatever the topics, whatever the concepts you have studied in level 1 exam, it is same. Same syllabus follows for the level 2 also. But the only one difference we can observe is in level 1 and level 2, the questions. The variation of questions. In level 1, the questions are a bit logical when compared to level 2 questions are more advanced, more in depth of the questions will be asked. So as even though the syllabus is same, but the question varies from level 1 to level 2. Okay, now coming to the center of exam. So center of exam may or may not be in your school. So this all details will be shared by your school coordinators and your school management. So don't worry about this. Before 1 week of exam or before few days of your exam, you will get all this information about the center of exam and admit card details from your school coordinators. And this center information also will be provided on the admit card of level 2. So usually you will be getting admit cards, right? So in that admit cards also, you will be getting to know your center information. Now this is all about the syllabus and examination center. Okay, coming to the exam dates. So as you all know that our level 2 exam is on 8th February 2026. So do you all know about this? You have your level 2 exam on 8th February 2026. All regions except Maharashtra. The students who are giving their exam in Maharashtra, only those students, they have their exam on 15th February 2026. Otherwise, level 2 exam of NSO is scheduled on 8th February except Maharashtra. All other students from all other regions, we have exam on 8th February 2026. I hope you all know about the date of level 2 exam now. Yes? Okay. Now coming to the international wise, the students who are giving exams from the international wide, they will be having their exam date in between 9th February to 20th February, and it is a hybrid model. So these all details will be shared by your school coordinators, right? Now coming to the admit cards. Admit cards, as I told you, it will be shared by your school management, school coordinators will be giving you, and the information also about the center will be available on the admit cards. Otherwise, admit cards can also be downloaded from the official SOF website, that is www.sofworld.org. So this you can you note down, or else you can just if you visit this website, you will also get the admit cards. You can download your admit cards from there directly, approximately 1 week before your exam, or you can ask from your school coordinators. So these are the two ways you can get your admit card, either from the school coordinators or from this official website. If you click on this website, and if you can directly download your admit cards from here also. So this is all about level 2 syllabus and exam center and your admit cards, right? I hope I'm clear. Okay, now let's discuss understanding the exam format and structure. How the format of exam and what is the structure of exam of level 2. So first is section breakdown and overview of the different sections, and question types will provide clarity on what to expect. So you know that we have few sections, like we will be discussing about the sections, and you all know that achiever section. So there is a section breakdown. So you will be getting an idea of different sections and the question types asked in different sections. It will provide a good clarity for you what to expect. Time allocation. Understanding the time limits for each section is crucial for effective time management during the exam. See, in case if you go through the question paper, we have different kinds of questions asked. Few questions requires more time to think, analyze, and to figure out the correct option. Few questions are it is like a straightforward, whereas easily you can attempt that. So you have to understand the time limits. You have to manage your time accordingly in attempting the questions. Few questions are lengthy, so whereas you it takes some extra time for you to go through the question, understand and analyze that question. So in that way you have to manage your time also. You have to allocate the time in such a way to understand the question and answering that question. And marking scheme. So an insight into how marks, usually achiever section marks will be having, weightage of marks will be more for these questions. So you have to understand the marking scheme. Whenever you are attempting the exam, you should know how many marks each question carries. So you should have a good clarity of this weightage also. So an insight into how marks are awarded will guide your approach to answering the questions, right? So in this way you have to understand, you have to manage your time, and you have to understand the marking scheme. Accordingly you have to plan and you have to attempt your exam, right? Now, so let's discuss how the NSO level 2 exam pattern will be and marking scheme, right? If we discuss about class 3rd and 4th, so we will be having overall 35 questions. In this 35 questions, first 30 questions will be of general science questions, and last 5 questions will be achiever sections, which are very much important. So if we discuss about the science questions, 30 questions, each question carries 1 mark and total 30 marks. Whereas achiever questions, which I have told you, which are very important section and important questions, these questions are of 5 and each question carries 2 marks, whereas total marks are 10. So overall grand total marks for class 3rd and 4th students are 40 marks. So you are going to attempt for 40 marks paper. Whereas for 5th standard to 10th standard students, so total number of questions are 50. Whereas general science questions are 45, whereas each question carries 1 mark and total 45 marks. Whereas achievers questions are again 5 marks, 5 questions here also, same as 3rd and 4th standard. But marks of achiever questions differs after 4th standard. Each achiever section question carries 3 marks. So in this way, 15 marks goes for achiever section only. So overall marks comes around 60. So 5th to 10th standard students will have a 60 marks paper, whereas total questions asked are 50 questions. Now 11th and 12th students, they will be having physics and chemistry 25, whereas 25 marks. Achiever section 5 questions, whereas 3 marks each question, 15 marks. And the students who opt for mathematics, students who opt for biology, they will be getting the questions of each of around 20. Again, each question carries 1 mark, so 20. So again, 11th and 12th standard students will be getting 60 marks paper, whereas 50 questions they have to attempt. So this is about the structure and marking scheme, like how many sections are there, what are the total marks, how many questions will be asked. So this is all about the NSO level 2 exam pattern. I hope everyone understood about this. Someone please reply, thumbs up. Is it clear how your exam paper will be framed? Okay. So now we have Malavika ma'am with us. So Malavika ma'am will be taking up few Olympiad based questions. So how your Olympiad questions, what kind of questions, how in-depth of questions are asked. So we have an Olympiad expert trainer who usually takes NSO level 1 and level 2 classes. So ma'am will be taking up from here and ma'am will explain few questions. So listen to ma'am carefully and focus towards the questions, because these are the questions which have, to give a good idea for you all how the questions are framed in level 2. So over to you, ma'am. You can share your screen and you can start.
Yes, good evening, everyone. I hope everyone is fit and fine. Please give me a thumbs up. Yes, so can you see NSO frequency asked concepts for class 3rd to 5? So here we would learn about what type of questions are being asked in every classes. So we will start from plants and animals. So what topics are coming from plants and animal topic? So it's photosynthesis, modification of plant parts, food web, and adaptation in animals. And from human health and food, we get questions from macronutrients, what are the different deficiency diseases, the digestive system. Next, we get question from matter and material. So matter mein what different types of materials are there, what kind of a material it is it a transparent material, is it a translucent or an opaque material. Then we have types of fibers, the changes in states of matter, how the states of matters change from one state to another. Yes, the thermal expansion and contraction theory. Then we have from the environmental and the natural resources section, what is environmental pollution, acid rain, and soil erosion. Now from light, sound, and force. So we get questions from how the shadows are formed, different types of forces, and simple machines. From Earth and universe, we get questions from the characteristics of different planets, what are the phases of moon, Earth rotation, and revolution. So these are the topics from which we get the questions from class 3rd to 5th. Now, what all topics come for class 6 to 8? So we get questions from food and nutrition. The topics that come are photosynthesis, digestive system, your deficiency diseases, food chain, and food web. From the living world, we get questions from modification of plant parts, adaptation, pollinators, respiratory system, modes of respiration, and modes of reproduction. Then from Earth and environment, we get questions from different types of planets, the phases of moon, acid rain, and global warming. Some more detailed concepts from here. Matter and material, we get questions from separation technique, indicators, chemical reaction. From motion, force, and friction, we get questions from types of motion, effects of friction, pressure, distance, time graph. Okay, now light, heat, and sound. From this topic, we get questions from reflection and propagation of light and sound, shadow image formation, and thermal expansion. From electricity and magnet, we get questions from effects of current, conductor insulator, series and parallel combination, and the magnetic field. I hope this is clear. Please give me a thumbs up. Yes, some additional concepts for class 8. So they would give, for class 8 students, you all would get questions from biodiversity conservation, endocrine system, microbes and diseases. Okay, and types of combustion and the structure of flame. So these are some additional concepts for class 8th only. Okay, give me a thumbs up if this was clear. Now, let's move ahead. Yes, please put your doubts in the chat box. If any, then please wait and put your doubts in the chat box. Now, let's take some level 2 based questions from class 3rd to 8th. Now, the first question on your screen, it shows that the study the given food web and find the number of food chain that consist of only 4 organisms. So what two concepts you should remember? Food web and food chain. So what is a food chain? Food chain is the linear transfer of energy. From whom? From producers to the consumers. Yes, producers, then we go for primary consumers, then we go for secondary consumers, then we go for the tertiary consumers. And at each level we have the decomposers. So this is what the transfer of energy in a straight line. When the transfer of energy is done in a straight line, it is known as linear transfer of energy. No complex, idhar udhar, not going in bi-directional, only in one direction. Yes, one direction. So this is your food chain. Now when different food chains get interconnected, let's say this is food chain 1, this is food chain 2, and this is food chain 3, all get interconnected with each other, and then there is the transfer of energy. So what is that known as? That is known as the food web. So complex transfer of energy, the complex chain through which the energy is transmitted from the producers to the consumers here also. So now you have to find the number of food chain that consist only 4 organisms. So answers in the chat box, please. Meanwhile, we will do only for class 3rd. See, this is class 3rd question. Easy question for class 3rd. So first chain is the banana fruit that is eaten by the sparrow. Sparrow is eaten by the python and the python is eaten by the eagle. So first chain is banana fruit to sparrow, sparrow to your python, python to the eagle. So one chain. Okay. Now second chain is from banana fruit to fruit bat. Fruit bat is eaten by the python, python is eaten by the eagle. So second. Now third one, banana fruit is eaten by monkey, monkey is eaten by tiger, tiger is eaten by the crocodile. This could be the third chain. Yes. Now fourth one, roots. Can you see the roots here? Yes, roots eaten by wild boar eaten by tiger, tiger eaten by the crocodile. So this is the fourth chain. So what would be the correct answer for this question? Option A. That is four food chain. You could see that is interconnected to form the food web that consists of four organisms. Clear? Now what kind of a question? Next question for NSO class 3 is refer to the given flow chart and select the option that is correct regarding P, Q, R and S. So now here what we have to study. Now you have to learn about the birds. Flying bird. How many types of the birds are there? Some are flying birds. It is a flying bird. Yes, first we will go for Q. Sorry, first we will go for P. It is a flying bird. Yes. Has feet? No. Has climbing feet? No. No climbing feet. So what would happen? Which kind of a bird will be? P can be a bird that is two toes and each foot. And R is the largest bird in the world. Come on, tell me. Anyone? In the chat box, everything in the chat box. So we have different types. In the chat box, Krishna, have patience. So we have different types of bird. Let me first tell you the concept. Climbing birds, we have climbing birds. We have swimming birds. We have running birds. And another bird is your perching birds. Okay. Climbing birds would have climbing feet. So example of climbing birds would be woodpecker and your parrot. Now example of swimming birds. What kind of a food would they have? Webbed feet, flippers. Yes, so flippers are present in duck and swan. Yes, so that they could swim. Then we have the running birds. Running birds may what should be the characteristic if you have to run? So you should have strong legs. Similarly, running bird should also have strong legs. Example, ostrich and emo, they are flightless bird, but they have strong legs so that they could run. Now we have the perching birds. So they have flippers for grasping so that they could eat. So examples are your crow and sparrow. Now tell me. Now let's read first option. P can be a bird that has two toes in each foot and R is the largest bird in the world. So which is the largest bird in the world? Is it ostrich? Yes. Q can be swimming bird. What is Q? What are they telling about? Flying bird? No. Has climbing feet? No. So this option goes wrong. Q can be a swimming bird. No, it cannot be a swimming bird. So option B goes wrong. S can be a bird that lays eggs in the nest of other birds. So which bird lays egg in the nest of another bird? Is it cuckoo? So cuckoo is an example of perching bird. Okay, so perching bird may know. Perching bird's characteristic that they have flippers for grasping. So S has flippers, yes. Flying bird, so they are saying it is a flying bird, no. But cuckoo is a flying bird, so that's why this is also wrong. Now, option C says Q can be a bird that makes a hole in the tree trunk. So which bird makes the hole in the tree trunk? Is it the woodpecker? It is having what? Flying bird. It has wings. It has climbing feet. So Q is correct. Okay. Now, to use it as a nest, and R can be a bird that runs very fast. So flying bird, no. Ostrich and emo cannot fly. Has flippers? No, they don't have flippers. What do they have? They have strong legs. So yes, R can be the bird that flies, that runs very fast. So R is a running bird. So option C seems to be the correct answer. Okay, now let's discuss D also. P can be a bird that makes nest called eyrie, and S can be a bird that weaves its nest with twigs and grasses. So what are they telling about P? P is a flying bird, has climbing feet. No, so for making the nest it should have climbing feet. So that's wrong. So that's why we get option C as the correct answer. Okay, clear. Give me a thumbs up. Now, next we have question from class 4th. So here we have the different types of teeth. So how many types of teeth do you have? We have 4 types of teeth. First is incisors. Yes. Then we have canines. Then we have premolars. And then we have the molars. Okay, now what is the dental formula? Dental formula takes place in a quadrant. That means 2, 1, 2, 3. 4 sides. So 2, 1, 2, 3. 2, 1, 2, 3. 2, 1, 2, 3. So total of which we get 32 teeth. And 32 teeth are present in the adult. In adults. So incisors are used for biting and cutting. Canines are used for tearing. Premolars and molars are used for chewing and grinding of the food. Now solve the question. Now let's go to the question. So 2 incisors in one quadrant, 1 canine and 2 premolars in one quadrant and 3 molars. So in one jaw, how many incisors do you have? 4. How many canines? 2. How many premolars? 4 and 6 molars. In one jaw means half part of the jaw, this thing. Okay, now let's see. Type of a teeth in an adult, yes, present 4 in each jaw. No, there are no X is your, it is not 4. So molar, how many molar do you have? How many molars? 6 molars. So here canine and option B and C goes wrong. Okay. What do we are left with? Molar and premolar. Sorry. 1 minute. It does not have present 4 in each jaw. So which teeth are present 4 in each jaw? It is only your incisors and premolars. So where can you see incisors and premolars? So this one. Molars and canines. How many molars in each jaw? 6. How many canines in each jaw? 2. So option D crossed out. Now let's see for why. Now, type of teeth, yes, present 4 in each jaw, yes, used for cutting. Which was used for cutting? Who will tell me which was used for cutting? Acha, theek hai. Fine. And used for cutting. Come on, tell me. Why? First, incisors are used for cutting, yes. Whereas it is not used for cutting, premolars. Premolars are used for grinding. Okay, grinding and chewing. So from this, we get the option B as the correct answer. Got it? First, you have to check what is coming or what is not coming. Then you can eliminate the options which is not matching with it. Okay. Now let's go ahead. Now we have the question for class 5th. Now, Dravya observed a waxing gibbous moon in night of February 50. Which of the following phases of the moon must have appeared on 8th of February, that is X, and 22nd of February? So now first of all, let's learn about the phases of the moon. We have one waxing phase. Waxing mein what is happening? The light is increasing. Okay, and in waning what is happening? The light is decreasing. So first decreasing. Fine. So let's say starting from the new moon, no light, new moon is not visible to us. Then we would go for waxing crescent. Okay, waxing crescent. What is crescent? This shape. This shape is your waxing crescent. Ye wala. So now next is we would go from waxing crescent to half moon. Yes. From that we would go for waxing gibbous. Waxing gibbous. From waxing gibbous we would go towards the full moon. Now from the full moon we would go towards waning gibbous. Now slowly the light would start decreasing. So we would go for waning gibbous. From waning gibbous again we would go to half moon. From half moon we would go to waning crescent. And then we would come to the new moon again. And this cycle of moon takes around 28 days to complete. Okay. Now, February 8 is your waxing gibbous. So waxing gibbous means the light part is more. So let's say this black one is the shaded area and this one is the light one area. Which of the following phases must appear on February 8th? So that means 7 days earlier. So obviously it would be what? Your waxing crescent. Okay? Can you see waxing crescent anywhere in the diagram? Option D. And on 22nd February, that means 7 days after 15th February. So it would go for waning gibbous or it would go for half. So it would go for waning crescent. Clear? So which option is correct one? Option D is the correct answer for this question. Okay, clear? Give me a thumbs up then. Okay, now we have another question for class 5th. Now can you see this? Yes. Now, if gear D rotates in clockwise direction, select the direction in which the other gears will rotate. So now if D is rotating in clockwise direction, so your G would rotate in anti-clockwise direction. Okay, so G in anti-clockwise. If G is rotating in anti-clockwise, F would rotate in clockwise direction. If F is rotating in clockwise direction, then E would rotate in anti-clockwise direction. Okay. If G is rotating in clockwise, then H would rotate in anti-clockwise. Now, find the option where E and G are in anti-clockwise. Option A. Yes, D clockwise. G would go anti-clockwise. E would go anti-clockwise. I told you how it is happening. So the correct answer for this question is option A. Okay, now let's go ahead to another question. Now we have the question from class 6. To separate constituent of mixture, Varsha adopted the following methods. So what was the mixture? Water plus sawdust plus sugar. Water is your universal solvent. Sawdust is insoluble solid, whereas sugar is your soluble solid. Yes, it completely dissolves in water, sugar, whereas sawdust will not dissolve in water. Now, how will you remove that? So how to remove X? X means your sawdust. So just like when you filter the tea leaves out from your tea, what happens? The tea leaves get collected on the sieve. So similarly, which process is used here to remove the sawdust from the solvent? It's your filtration. Yes, what is filtration? Filtration is the process in which the insoluble solid is separated from your solvent. Okay. Now second is, how will you remove the sugar from the water? Yes, the sugar water solution. So that means now you have to remove the soluble solid from the solvent. So here we adopt the process of evaporation. What is evaporation? In this, the water is converted into water vapors. And what is left behind? It is your solid that is left behind. So what is the solid here? Sugar. And in the same process, by using the same process, we can separate the salt from the seawater by using evaporation. The water is evaporated. What is left behind? Your salt is left behind. So which option is the correct one? It is your option B. Filtration for X, that is your sawdust, and evaporation for your sugar and water solution. Now what is loading? Now when there are some minute particles suspended in the solvent, we use alum, and alum increases the weight of your suspended solids or dissolved solids. So it helps in increasing the process of sedimentation. Now what is sedimentation? It is the process by which your soluble solute or your solute gets settled down at the base of the vessel or the beaker, anything which you are using with time. Now what do we have? Condensation. Condensation is what? No, sedimentation is followed by decantation. Okay, now tell me what is decantation? Decantation is the process of removal of solvent or the without disturbing the filtrate. This is the filtrate, the sediment, without disturbing the sediment. Without disturbing it, the process of getting back your water or any solvent is known as decantation. Now, what is condensation? Condensation is the process in which the water vapors are cooled down to form liquid again. Your gases are cooled down to form liquid again. Okay? Okay. Now we have said distillation. Distillation is the process where two soluble, like two things that are soluble in water are present, and now you have to separate them. For example, alcohol and water. Now both are liquid in state. Yes, soluble liquid in solvent. So now this is done by the process of evaporation along with condensation. And what is the basic principle between them? This is the difference in the boiling point. Difference in the boiling point of both the two liquids. Okay. So alcohol having a lesser boiler point will evaporate earlier, and then it is cooled down, and then it is collected in another beaker. Whereas water having a higher boiling point would be left behind and it would evaporate later. So this is how we can separate two liquids from each other. Now next is centrifugation. What is centrifugation? It is the process by which we rotate the suspended particles or some solution at a very high speed. Now rotating it at very high speed, what happens after that? The particles that are suspended in the solution get settled down at the bottom of the test tube, and the liquid part is collected above. Okay, so this is how we can separate different types of mixtures. Clear? Now let's go to next question. That is also for class 6th. Now here we have to refer to the flow chart and select the option that identifies P, Q, R and S. So these are what? The modification of your stem. Now stem has been modified to climb. Okay, stem has been modified to climb. Next is the stem has been modified to manufacture food. Okay, stem has been modified to store food and modified for protection. So first is beetle, no beetle mein nahi. Then modified to manufacture food in aloe, no. Modified to store food, ginger can be modified to store food, that's correct, but other two options are not correct. Modified for protection, no. Banyan tree may not protection, it's not for protection, it's for support if the root is being modified. Now we have poison ivy, no. Cactus may, it could be used to manufactured food. Now for tuber also, R is also correct, but modified for protection, S, ginger is incorrect. Now option C, passion flower, they have what? They have stem tendril. So yes, it would help in climbing. Apuntia, modified to manufacture food. So this is one of the desert plant, and desert plants may, you know that stem is modified to do the process of photosynthesis. Why? Because the leaves have been reduced to spines and all the chlorophyll is present in your stem. So Q also seems correct. Now R, modified to store food. Yes, in onion the stem is modified into the bulb and bulb is used to store the food. Now for modified for protection, that's S. Yes, in bougainvillea, bougainvillea is a flower in which the stem is modified into the thorns, and thorns are used for protection from animals, grazing animals and predators. Okay, so option C is the correct answer. Now D may, P, money plant can be to manufacture food, no. Modified to store food, yes, radish can store food, but radish is your root modification. Okay, potato may, so this goes wrong. So that's why option C is the correct answer for this question. I hope this is clear. Please give me a thumbs up if everyone is there. Yes. Now let's go to the question from class 7th. So this is the diagram of your circuit diagram. So what will happen here? Let's see, you have to check both the circuits, circuit X and circuit Y. What's happening in circuit X? Circuit X is your series circuit. X is your series circuit. Yes, what is a series circuit? All the bulbs and switches are connected in a single path. Series means single path, and everyone is dependent on each other. This, if bulb 1 is dependent on bulb 2 and both of them are dependent on switch. So if bulb 1 fuses, so bulb 2 will also not work. If switch 1 is closed, so bulb 1 and bulb 2 both will not glow. Okay, so both they are dependent on each other. Okay, now we have this series. This is Y series. Y is parallel series. In this, we have switch 2 that will regulate your bulb 3, and switch 3 will regulate your bulb 4. If switch 3 is closed, so bulb number 4 will not glow, but bulb number 3 will glow. If switch 2 is closed, then bulb number 3 will glow and bulb number 4 will not glow. Okay. Now let's read the option. Circuit Y is a series circuit. Incorrect statement.
Hello. Sorry
Yes.
to interrupt, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Just one moment. So
Mhm.
students, please stop spamming in the chat box because it's getting really difficult to answer the, real questions out here. Or we have to, stop the, completely disable the chat if you do not stop the spamming. So I request students to, just share your legit questions. We will definitely be answering each of them. Thank you, ma'am. Please continue.
Yes. Now let's read question option number D. Both circuit X and Y are parallel circuits. Incorrect. Now we are left with two options. Bulb 2 in circuit X will glow even when bulb 1 is fused and switch 1 is closed. No, I told you everyone is dependent on each other, so B goes wrong. So we are left with only one option. In circuit Y, bulb 3 will glow only if switch 2 is closed. Whereas in circuit Y, bulb 3 will glow only if switch S2 is closed. So this is the correct one. And we get option C as the correct answer. Okay. Let's move towards another question that is of class 8th. So here we have the question that Mr. Rohit, a science teacher, showed the following experiment setup to the students. It was observed that the paper pan did not catch fire. What can be concluded from this experiment? So the first statement for this question, so what is the setup? You have a tripod stand, you have a wire mesh, then you have a paper pan, and then you have the water. So now let's read the first statement. Ignition temperature of the paper pan has been decreased, so it is unable to catch fire. So what is the ignition temperature? Ignition temperature is the minimum temperature which is required to catch the fire. Okay. Now has been decreased. So this is the fixed property of any element. So this cannot be decreased, this cannot be increased. Fine. Now, second statement, so statement 1 goes wrong. Wherever you find 1, so option A and B also goes wrong. Now statement 2, the paper absorbs heat from the candle flame and therefore it is unable to catch fire. No, the heat from the paper is transferred to the water. Okay, so it is not absorbing the candle flame, the heat of the candle flame. So this is also wrong. So from paper the heat is transferred to the water. So statement 2 goes wrong. Where can you find statement 2? Again, D also gone. So we are left with only one option, that is option C, and that would be the correct answer. Now let's read another. Paper is non-combustile. Non-combustile paper is combustile. Combustile means it would catch fire. So this statement also goes wrong. Now, statement 4. The heat supply to the paper pan is transferred to the water. Why is it transferred to the water? Because water has a high specific heat. Okay, high specific heat capacity. So that heat from the paper is transferred to the water, and that's why the ignition temperature of the paper is not reached. So we get option 4 as the correct answer and statement 4 as the correct statement, and from that we get option C as the correct answer. Okay, now we have some Types of levers. So first class levers are the easier one, where the fulcrum is placed at the middle, just like example is your scissors. Fulcrum is the point of connection where you can use the load and where you can put your efforts. Example is your scissors. Now second class mein fulcrum is placed here. Load is, can you see the load? Load is more, and then you are putting your effort. That means you are exerting the force in that particular direction. So that is the second class of lever. Then we have the third class. Here the load is, and you have to put the effort from this part. So all the effort has to be put from this part. And your fulcrum is the joining or the conjunction point. So these are the third class of your levers. Okay. Now, what are the applications? They focus on application of simple machines like pulley, levers, and the type of energies. What is the calculation practice for older grades? Master formulas for speed, you should remember, time and distance, as well as heat transfer method, like the conduction of heat. What do you mean by conduction? What do you mean by convection? And what do you mean by radiation? Earth and space, say you should know. Study the phases of moon and planetary sequence. Okay, the phases of moon which I told you, the waning, the waxing, the half moon, the full moon, the new moon. Okay. Now focusing on logical outcomes of earth rotation. Now how is it based upon the rotation and revolution of the earth? Now you have to learn the units, especially in physics equations. So like what is the unit of length, what is the unit of temperature, so they should be done properly. Like for temperature, Kelvin is the SI unit. So if you have not revised, you would go for degree Celsius. So these are the places where you can make mistakes. Now we will check out about what should be the tips. These are the different tips for your 20-day study plan. Pay attention to this. Now from day 1 to day 7, you have to learn about the deep concept revision. You have to revise your concepts from 1 to day 7. So here, understand the weightage of different topics, the topics which are giving you more marks. Revise it first, practice the different types of questions, and be very aware about the marking scheme. Okay, so here what you will do, daily action items where you have to analyze this. So check the specific weightage of your class syllabus. You would be given the syllabus. According to that, you are mentioned with the marks against that particular topic. So go analyze it. Now next what you can do, you could visualize. Visualize. Do not just read the text. Just like reading. No, do not do that. Draw the mind map of every, make short notes for it so that you could revise at the end of the time. Now set up practice. For each chapter, solve 5 easy, 5 medium and 5 difficult questions to build the confidence gradually. So first start with the easy questions. If you have learned one topics, do practice 5 easy questions for them. Then go for 5 medium question and then go for 5 difficult questions. Don't start with 5 difficult questions. Oh, I have done so much. No, don't do that. Because maybe it could decrease, it could level down your confidence if you go wrong. Okay. Now, from day 8 to day 14th, strategy and gap analysis. So what is your goal? Identify patterns in previous year papers and fix weak spots. So you just go through the PYQs, analyze it, which part is giving you, what is the difficulty levels, and are you able to solve that part or not. So you have to identify your weak spots. Solve PYQs, previous year questions, papers. So complete one full length level 2 previous paper each day. Like you are going to give in 26. So practice 25, 24, 23 and as many as you can. The achievers focus, pay extra attention to the achiever section because mind-based questions you would get there. So these questions often combine two different concepts. So one from this part, just example is how heat affects the state of matter. Like when you are applying heat to the water, so it is changing its state into water vapor. What is this process known as? Got it? These kinds of a question could come. Now, the mistake law. Create a table for every mistake for every mock test. Like question type, in which question you made mistake. Was it a diagram based question? Was it a flow chart based question? Was it a statement reason question? So you have to identify your mistakes. Now, you have to identify the reason for errors, like was it a silly mistake, or you did not read the not in the question, or you forgot the formula, or you were not aware of the concept itself. So this is the reason. You have to identify the reason for your errors. Next, fix. Revise that specific concept map immediately. So go, if you, let's say for the separation of materials, you got for class 6, for separation of materials, you got 2 questions wrong. So now what you have to do, you have to go and read the separation of materials so that you could now do all the questions correctly. Fine. Now we have from day 15 to 20, the final sprint goal. So here, build speed, accuracy, and mental stamina. So time mock test, set a timer for 60 minutes, practice in a quiet room to stimulate the real exam environment. So you have to practice the mock papers in a time-bound movement, in a time-bound manner. Next, total concept review. So rescan your charts, revise your notes, revise your mind maps, cheat sheets, whatever you have made from phase 1. Next, refine speed. If a certain type of a question like complex circuit diagrams or plant classification takes too long, spend day 18 solely on speed drilling. Like you have to do them very quickly, analyze that, read the questions properly and try to solve it quickly. Okay, you have to practice that. Clear for day 18. Now, what are the different tips for improving problem solving skills in kids? So this is for parents also. So you have to encourage a growth mindset. You have to teach them the challenges, that challenges are the opportunities. Challenges are to learn rather than obstacles. So if a child is not able to solve a particular question, you have to motivate them that this is not an obstacle. This is your opportunity to learn something. Next, you have to praise their efforts and strategies instead of just the outcome. Even if the answer goes wrong, at least they have put their efforts. So you have to praise them. Next, use phrases like you are working hard on it, or what could you try next, to have resilience and perseverance. Like these are the keys to build a successful human being, a successful child that would be serving the nation in future. Next, promote logical thinking through games. So introduce puzzles, strategy games or activities like chess, sudoku to build critical thinking skills. Next, you can engage in what if scenarios, like to think them, to give the solution of a particular problem. Let them explain their reasoning for decisions, like what decision they have taken at that particular gameplay. They have to give the reason for their decisions. Next, practice problem solving in real life situation. Involve them in age appropriate decision making tasks like planning a small event or solving a minor household issue. Next, you can encourage them to break big problems into smaller and manageable ways. Teach them to evaluate the pros and cons of different solutions and select the best one. Like if they have given 2 solutions, so you have to ask them to check which one would be the best option for them. Okay, can we just move it? So now we are moving towards the 5 mistakes which you have to avoid during the examination. First is not reaching on time at the venue. You are late at your exam, so you don't have to do that. Not filling OMR sheets properly. Fill them very attentively. Third, neglecting to read instructions carefully. Fourth, wasting time on specific question which is not sure. First, you do the questions which you know, and then go for the questions which you will take time to complete. Otherwise, you would waste all your time. Last one, not giving time to revise before finishing the test. So before submitting your test, if you have not revised which answer is there, so maybe you could make some mistakes in there. So that was for the mistakes which you need to avoid. Now, ma'am, you can take over from here. That was all from my side.
Okay, thank you, Malavika ma'am. Thank you for giving an insight of idea of the questions to the students. So students, I hope you got a good idea like how the level 2 questions are framed and how you have to manage your time and crack the questions and what type of questions are asked in the level 2. I hope you got a good idea. Yes. So students, now let's discuss, like we have some helpful resources provided by MTG for level 2 NSO exam preparation. So first comes with the Olympiad crash course level 2, whereas these are the live classes which we are going to commence from tomorrow. So all those details according to the class wise and the timings will be shared in the next slide. All the details will be shared there. Coming to the next is online mock test. So this online mock test is a kind of a digital format, whereas you can go visit the website, and in case if you wanted to this, you can purchase and you can get access, and it is in completely in the digital format. So for the level 2 we don't have any physical copies available, we have all the digitalized format only. Okay. Coming to the third one is OSDS, that is Olympiad Skill Development System. So these complete details are available in the website. So this is one of the resource which will be helpful for the Olympiad preparation. And next is NSO level 2 5 years previous question papers. So 5 years previous question papers are also available in the website. And these are the 4 resources which are available in www.mtg.in website. So these definitely helps you. These resources helps you in preparing for your level 2 exam. So you can just go through the website, go through whichever you are interested. You can get in detailed information in the website, and you can purchase it in the online, right? Okay, now upcoming level 2 NSO online schedules, as I told you, which we are going to commence from tomorrow. So this is a complete schedule. The starting date is 15 January, and we will be ending our classes on 3rd February, because as I told you, we have our level 2 exam on 8th of February. So for class 3, our timings are at 7:30 to 8:30. Class 4 also 7:30 to 8:30. Class 5 is at 5 to 6 p.m. Class 6 is at 6:15 to 7:15. Class 7 is at 5 to 6 p.m. and class 8 is 7:30 to 8:30 p.m. So this complete schedule will also be available in the website, and you can also take a screenshot, or you can note down the timings. And for further more details, students, our team members have already shared a Google form in the chat box. Please fill that Google form. Our team will get back, so you can discuss the details. Otherwise, you can ask your questions in the group also of MTG. Right? This is a schedule. Now coming to the final tips and recommendation for the success, students. So please, these points are very much important for you. You have to build up your confidence. Confidence building is the first important tip. So you have to build your confidence through consistent practice, more practice. You have to practice more and more so that you build up confidence in cracking whichever the question is asked. Right? Coming to the healthy routine. So you have to be, you have to plan your routine in such a way it should be in a healthy way. You have to sit, for some time, and you have to prepare for the questions. You have to prepare for the exam, right? Now coming to the positive visualization. So visualize success. Always be positive, visualize success, and maintain that attitude so that you can perform very good in your exams. So these are the final tips and recommendations for the success. Please follow this tips. Be confident, be always positive, and always practice, practice, practice. Practice always makes you perfect. Right? So go through the previous year's question papers so that you'll get a good idea how the questions are asked in earlier exams. So practice more that questions. Definitely you'll be getting an idea how the questions are, appears in a level 2 exam. So remember, students, this is a guidance based on our general observation and analysis. So adjust your plan, whatever the plan shared by us. So you can adjust your plan. It's not mandatory that you have to follow the same plan. According to your timings, according to your plan, you can adjust that plan, and you have to, on your individual needs and learning style, how the way you, sit and learn, what is the learning style. So based on that, you can adjust your plan accordingly. But stay focused, keep practicing more and more, and believe in your abilities. As I told you, always be positive, be confident, and always practice. Keep practicing more and more. So we have our exam on February 8th. It's a very short period of time. So this time is very much precious for you to prepare for your NSO level 2 exam. So all the best to all the students. I hope you all gain some knowledge from this webinar. You got many more points. So in case if you want to enroll for the classes, as I told you, you can fill the Google form, And for any queries, in case if you have any queries or if you wanted to know any further more information, you're always welcome to call to these helpline numbers which are available on the screen, or you can also directly mail to this mail ID. So our team always will be get in touch with you and to clear your queries. Okay, so I hope this is all from my side, students. In case if you have any doubts, you can just raise your hands. Yes, Adi Lodha. Can you please unmute? Okay, let me. Students, are you not able to unmute?
Yeah. Ma'am, I would like to know the cost of the class, online class.
Okay, ma'am, as I told you, you can please fill the Google form. So our team will get back by giving you all the details.
So where can I get this Google from?
It is already shared in the chat box. So team, I would request you to share the Google form again in the chat box so that ma'am will fill that.
Or if you can share in the group also.
Yes, ma'am,
MTG.
we will be sharing in the group also all the details.